I think it's the first time we do the live really late. Gary already ate today. He ate like a worm and some pellets. So we won't be able to give him food today. He's chilling now. He's not that active today. Gary's just chilling. You're not doing anything, Gary? You're not moving? You're not saying hi? You say hi, Gary. Oh, you say hi. Good, Gary. Good, Gary. Hello. Hello. Gary's saying hello to everyone. He loves the camera. He knows where the camera is. Oh, someone from Malaysia. How, like, what time is it in Malaysia right now? Someone from Lebanon. Someone from Arizona. Oh, Gary. Oh, someone just had an axolotl as a surprise. That's good. Someone from Australia. Ukraine. He's being shy. He said hello. And now he's just hiding. You can see his little face. He's camera shy today. Oh, someone got an axolotl last week. Ah, he's back out. Out, Gary. What are axolotls? They are salamanders, not lizard. Gary is a cute salamander. Gary is 2 years and 4 months old. He's still a baby. He have his adult size, but he's still a baby. It's okay. English is not my first language either. Hello from Texas. You can send the fan arts to our Instagram in the DMs, or you can send them at our email address. I think it's in our YouTube page. I updated it, so you can actually send every fan arts you want to our mail or DM us through Instagram. Oh, it's the first time you can come to the live. Yes, I'm French. That's why I have an accent when I'm speaking. I'm sorry if you can't really understand when I'm speaking. Gary. Hello, Gary. We actually got Gary in the pet shop because here axolotls are legal. Is he in the mood for eating food? I don't think he is because he had the worm today and some pellets, so I think he's really full right now. I'm gonna see if he like try to eat the sand, and I'm gonna feed him something if he try to eat the sand, but for now I think... Oh, Gary. You're always hungry, aren't you? You're such a chonk. How can you be hungry all the time? Do you play games with Gary? I do. I do. And he likes to watch, actually. Oh, someone is saying Merry Christmas to you, Gary. Yeah, Gary, eating sand is not good. Doesn't taste good, isn't it? Does Gary like to be hand-fed? Yes, Gary loves that. He doesn't really like to eat like from the ground, so we have to hand-feed him all the time. What is Gary getting for Christmas? We don't know yet. I know that his Christmas dinner is gonna be salmon, but as a gift, I don't really know yet. Maybe I'm gonna like arrange his new house and put it before Christmas, because we have a new house for Gary, but it went broken, so I have to repair it before putting it in the tank. So we might do that. Could you book Gary for me? Today I didn't plan to put my hands in the tank, so I don't think I can book Gary today. Yes, we actually got a really good house for Gary, a new house, and it was custom made in marble and slate. It's a cute little house. I will show you in another live maybe. What did Gary do today? Just going around his tank, eating, relaxing, walking a bit. What is Gary's favorite gift or stuff? I don't think Gary have like a favorite thing. He's not really into like playing with, I don't know, decorations or toys. We used to have a hammock for Gary, but he didn't really go on it. It was really like rare. So I removed it so he can have more space. Can Gary live out of water? He cannot. He can only live underwater. Can Gary survive out of the water? He cannot. He's fully aquatic. Are you planning on giving Gary a girlfriend? Not yet. Not yet. I'm not ready to be a grandma. Because when axolotls have babies, it's like 100 of them. So I don't think I'm ready to raise that much axolotls. What inspired you to get Gary? Actually, so here in the UK, I know it's really common, like in apartments, you can't have pets. So we were only allowed to have a tank. So at first we went to the pet shop to get like some fish, but none of them were appealing to us. And then we saw Gary, and we didn't came back home with Gary straight away. We wanted to do our research before getting him. So we did our research, and then we called the pet shop to reserve Gary for us, like for the time to get everything sorted for him, like his tank and everything. And then we went to pick up Gary, I think 1 or 2 weeks after we saw him. And that's it. This is how we got Gary. What game is in the background? It's Cyberpunk. You can actually see in the reflection. It's Gary's dad playing. Do you know that he is going to be in Minecraft? Yes, we do know that. The thing is, I've never played Minecraft at all. So I think when they're gonna add the axolotls, I will try to play just to have an army of Gary. Is Gary hard to be taken care of? Yes, I would say yes, because when we first got Gary, we didn't knew anything about like keeping an aquatic pet, and there was a lot to learn. Like, you don't just like put your axolotl in that water and that's it. It's really complicated to set up. Like, before having an axolotl, you actually have to cycle your tank, like putting ammonia, recreating the environment like in a lake. So it can take from 3 to 8 weeks. For us, it took 8 weeks, and it was really tiring because you have to monitor the water every day, add like up to 4 ppm of ammonia every day, and do water test every day. So it was really hard. Now it's kind of okay now because we know what we are doing, but at first when we got Gary, it was really stressful because we didn't really know that much, and we made mistakes. So soon I'm gonna do like videos about how to care for axolotls properly. So I hope you're gonna enjoy that. Why is his name Gary? It's actually his dad who gave him the name Gary. When we went out of the pet shop, he just said he looked like a Gary, and that was it. He's just Gary. Gary, how can you be so hungry? Wait, is Gary watching TV? Yes. He likes to watch TV. He actually watched his dad play a video game. Gary's always hungry. Yeah. Stop being hungry, Gary. You ate too much today already. You had a worm and pellets. Can't give you too much. People are gonna say you're a chunky boy. You're already a chunky boy, but I don't want you to be too much of a chunk. Okay? Don't look at me like that. Your cute eyes. He's doing that on purpose. How long does axolotl live? They can live up to around 15 years. And Gary is only 2 years, so he have a lot to live. It's only the beginning for Gary, isn't it, Gary? If Gary gets a girlfriend, what will her name be? I have no idea yet. We are not there yet, so I don't know. I appreciate that you live stream every Sunday. Yeah, I actually like to do live of Gary because it's more you can see how he acts. It's better than just one video where something is happening, because like YouTube is like that, you post videos because something is happening, but when you're live, anything can happen and you can actually just see Gary being Gary. And I also like to do it at different times because I know that there is a lot of you, and a lot of you are like from all over the world, and it's really hard to just set on 1 hour and content everyone. So I like to do different hours so everybody is able to see Gary live. Oh, you're going, Gary? Where did you get Gary? I got Gary in a pet shop because here in the UK, axolotls are legal, so we don't need to have like special things. Gary is going to have a cousin because in January I am getting an albino axolotl called Gilbert because of their geese. Oh, that's cute. Why do axolotl have slime coats? It's like their skin. It's like a skin for them. It protects them. I have to tell Gary I love him. Oh, Olivia loves you, Gary. What is Gary's daily routine? He doesn't really do much. He's just going around in his tank and just wait for the num num to fall from the sky, and that's it. Just chilling, sleeping, walking, swimming, watching TV, watching his dad play video games, and that's it. How many liters is his tank? It's 190. 190 liters. What decoration do you have in Gary's tank? Actually, we don't have much, only like driftwood and terracotta pots. That's it, and a lot of live plants. We don't put uh, fake plants, plastic plants in Gary's tank, only live ones. How many times do you have to change his tank and feed him? So we used to change his tank like once a week, every Sunday. And for the feeding, it depends because Gary is such a chunk. He likes to eat all the time. We can't really give him every day, even though sometimes we do. But you have to skip like one day or like feed him once every 2 days because he's just gonna eat until he vomits. So we need to like be careful of that and don't let him eat too much because he will just eat until he can't, until he's really full. He's gonna puke. So not too much and not every day, even though he looks hungry, but he's not. What does Gary watch? He likes to watch his dad play video games. Like actually, his dad is playing Cyberpunk, and he's really into it. So, will you give me Gary for 100K? No, not even a million. I will never, I will never give Gary to anyone. Are you gonna put fish with Gary or will he eat them? Gary would eat fish if I ever put fish with Gary, but axolotls are actually species only in a tank, which means you can only have other axolotls with him in the tank because fish are gonna nibble his gills until he have no fluff. So you can't really put fish with an axolotl. It's really dangerous for them. What does Gary do during water changes? 100% water. We never do 100% water changes. Like the maximum we do is like we stop the water level until like on the top of Gary's head, so he can still like walk. We don't need to do like really big water change because his tank is so big for him already, so he doesn't really mess the water that much because we clean it every day, so no need to do 100% water change. Oh, it's okay. I will do more like care videos in the future because I think it's really important to like give or teach the knowledge that I have for other like, new owners because it's kind of really hard to know what's best for your axolotl because there is so much different information out there and sometimes it's not really good or accurate or even the right so I think I will do that soon. What does Gary like about his tank? Gary likes kind of everything He loves to squish himself behind the filter, which I hate because I think he's stuck, but he's not. He just likes to squeeze himself into tiny places. Isn't it, Gary? You like to do that. What are those red things? The red things on his head, like around his head, is his gills. Gary, stop being hungry, please. You're a little pig. And with his gills, it's how he breathes. Yes, I will want to see videos of Gilbert. Hello. Gary, stop eating! Told you that is not good. Gary does a backward hop? I don't think so. Does Gary still bite a bit? He doesn't with me, but he does with his dad. For some reason. Is it mating season for Gary? Mating season is more like... Can you stop? It's... I don't really know because when you are in a tank like that, you don't really recreate the seasons in the tank, so they don't really have a time when it's mating time anymore. They can just reproduce all year long. I like to hide. Gary, Chief is saying you guys are dating. No, Gary doesn't have a girlfriend yet. When are you going to do a face reveal? You already like kind of see my face sometime in the reflection, so you don't need to see it. My brother wants to know if Gary is a baby or not. He's not a baby anymore, he have his adult size. What is Gary's girlfriend name gonna be? I don't know, we didn't plan to get Gary a girlfriend yet. Do you want a girlfriend, Gary? I don't think I have any answer to that. How old is Gary? Gary is 2 years and 4 months old. Gary does not have a girlfriend. No, he doesn't. He will probably have a brother in the future, but not a girlfriend. Yeah, Gary is really derpy. I like his face so much. How big is the tank in gallons? I have no idea in gallons. Like I said earlier, I only know in liters. And in liters it's like 190 liters, so I don't know at all what is it in a gallon. Can Gary stay on land for long? He cannot. He can actually die if you put it on land. It's 190 liters. So I don't know how much it is in gallon. It's not 119, it's 190. It's almost 200 liters. Would Gary be an invasive species if he would be let into the wild? I don't really know, but like, as Gary come only from Lake Xochimilco in Mexico, I don't know how he would evolve in like European countries, but like you can't really let any species out in the wild like that because you never know how like they're gonna react. Around 50 gallon, okay. Now I will know the answer. Oh, I have to go sleep. Bye, puppy cat. Have a good night. Gary is always in the mood for playing or getting a boop. But I cannot right now because my hands are dirty and I didn't really plan to put my hands in the tank today. Are axolotls an endangered species? Yes. Gary is actually an endangered species, but Gary is from the pet trade, and so in the pet trade it's okay, they thrive, but it's in the wild that they are endangered. Vous êtes français? Yes. Oui, I am. Is Gary's parents alive? I have no idea because we got Gary in a pet shop, and in a pet shop you don't really know like the parents. I want to send a Gary fan art, but I don't have an Instagram. Can I send by email? If so, which one? Yes. So our email is actually in the about section. It's garyaxolotl@gmail.com. Oh, Axel, vous êtes français aussi. What is Gary's size? Gary is actually 28 centimeters long, which is not like the longest axolotl. Is Gary a girl or a boy? Gary is a boy. Oh, someone says I love your voice. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for the accent. What does Gary eat? Gary eats worms. Here we call it dendrobina worms, and in the US I think it's night crawlers. So he eats that and pellets. Oh, you have a dwarf axolotl. They are so cute. I like dwarf axolotls. Oh, my axolotl told me to like, subscribe, and press notification bell. She has a crush on Gary. That is cute. Oh, Marit has to go. Nighty, Marit. Thank you for joining us today. I'm really sorry it's a bit late, but I know that a lot of you don't necessarily come from the European countries. I have a snail very slow. Is Gary in the mood for getting a pat on the head or playing? Gary is always in the mood for playing, but as I told earlier, I don't really plan to get my hands in the tank because he already got his num num today. Oh, congratulations to This Is AU of Reality for completing 100% of the Henry Stickmin collection. I have no idea what that is. Is Gary smarter than other animals? No. Gary is really cute, but he's not that smart. I have an axolotl named George. It's so cute. I have an African dwarf frog. Oh, I love those frogs. They're so derpy too. Oh, bullfroggy is almost blind. We got Gary on October 2018. Henry Stickmin is a game. Oh, okay. Do you have other pets? I don't really, except maybe for the shrimp we have in another tank. What does Gary believe in? Gary probably believe in the god of nom nom and cuteness. Gary supports everyone. Gary's stupid. What species of shrimp? If you know, yes, it's a cherry shrimp. The tiny shrimp, all red cherry shrimp. They're all really cute and they're really fun to watch. They're always busy. I actually have some tea with me because it's so late and I need my tea. My night tea. Oh, bye Abby Wolf. See you during the next live. Thank you for joining us today. Gary, are you sleepy? No, Gary is not sleepy because the nighttime is like the time when he wakes up. They are nocturnal. Can Gary get a PS5? We didn't really plan on getting a PS5. I think it depends on the game that's gonna go out on the PS5. Would you ever want a pet bird or a second axolotl? I think we're going to go for a second axolotl because we can't have any other pet in this flat, unfortunately. Gary, stop it. You already ate today. You're a drunk. You eat all the time. Gary is not sleepy. Oh, bye bye, Sarah Jade. Thank you for coming today. We'll see you next time. Is it smooth to touch or kind of scaly? It's really smooth to touch Gary. Oh, Gary actually moved. What are you doing, Gary? Are you still searching for food? Oh, Isabelle is gonna do her homework, so good luck for your homework. Thank you for joining us today. Yeah, Gary is smooth and slimy. Had Gary ever had to regenerate a limb? Gary lost a finger once, which freaked me out so much. But everything went fine and he just regrew his finger. Like nothing happened. Oh, bye Amberjack. We'll see you next time. Can Gary fix my video for me? I don't think he can. I need to go clean my guinea pig's cage. Bye, Mob the dog. Thank you for joining us today. Does touching him hurt his gears or anything? Yes. You can't really touch them that much. A boop is fine, but like not too much and not too often. Because they are amphibians, so their skin are really sensitive. So, how old is Gary and how long was it before you were able to tell that he was a male? So, Gary is now 2 years and 4 months old, and we got Gary when he was 3 months old, and we were able to tell that he was a boy, I think between 8 to 9 months. I know that it can take up to 18 months for the boy part to show. So Gary was really early. No, you just woke up. But you woke up to a nice live of Gary, so it's fine. Have you ever showed Gary himself? Yes. Actually, when you like look at the tank, he can actually see his reflection, but I also like make him look at different images of him sometimes when you guys put like cute comments. Some things like this. It's 7:30 a.m. I'm sorry. Are you live streaming tomorrow? No, we only do live every Sunday. So it's just every Sunday. Maybe later, maybe we're gonna do like twice a week. As you really like to see Gary live, we are like thinking about doing 2 lives per week. We're gonna try to see which day would be good for you all. So I will put some polls like I do all the time. What is Gary's favorite video game? I don't know if Gary really have a favorite, but he sure does like where when there is some action, especially when there is like aliens or things like that. I can't boop Gary right now because I didn't wash my hands or anything, and I didn't really like plan to put my hands in the tank today. Uh, have you noticed Gary liking a certain color? I know that when I put like the RGB lights at the back of his tank, most of the time like he's at the front of the tank, but when I put the light, sometimes he just like look at the back and look at the color changing. Can Gary poop? Yes. Of course Gary can poop. He did it today. Messed up everything. Gary, what are you doing? Are you chilling? Does it hurt to get bitten by Gary? No, he doesn't. It doesn't hurt at all because Gary doesn't have teeth. So it's really cute when Gary bites. Have you ever bred him to get babies? No, I didn't because I don't know Gary's genetics, so I don't really want. I know that Gary is already wonky, so I don't want to put like bad genetics out there because I don't know Gary's background, so I wouldn't risk it. Can Gary get scared by loud sounds? No, not really. He gets scared if you like touch him and he doesn't know that you're here. He would freak out, but with the noise, it doesn't really affect him. When is Gary's birthday? It's the 11th of July. Oh, thank you for getting a hoodie. Oh, I have to remind you that there is 20% off, like all December, with the code Happy Gary. So if you want to buy any merch of Gary, now is the time because we run this sale, special sale. Derek Reese is saying hi, Gary. He moved. I don't know why he's so. Stop, stop acting like you don't have food. That I don't give you food. I give you food way too much. People can see that you're a chunky boy. Stop acting like I never give you food, Gary. Oh, it's Gary who inspired you to get an axolotl. That's good. Does Gary know that Gary is Gary? I don't know. Like, I call him Gary all the time, and when I go next to the tank and I call him, he just like look at me. So I guess maybe he knows. Can Gary hear things? He does. Gary does hear. I don't know to what extent he can, but he does. Someone is going. The man behind the slaughter is going. Thank you for coming today. Can Gary fart? I have never seen Gary fart actually. Axolotls can jump out of the tank when water is bad. They can actually jump out of the tank even without the water being bad. So that's why we always have like acrylic lids on top of Gary's tank. Can Gary get a Oculus 2? I don't know what that is. Oh, I love leopard gecko. They're so cute. They always smile like Gary too. Gary's tank looks really big. Is that a 40 gallon? Someone said earlier it was 50 because I only know in liters and it's around 200 liters. So someone said it's about 50 gallon. I will need to verify this info. I love your accent. Thank you. I'm so like scared that sometimes you can't really understand me. Can other fish live with Gary? They cannot because fish are gonna nibble Gary's gills, so he won't have fluff or gills anymore, so he wouldn't be able to breathe properly, and would be really sad for Gary. Oh, you have to go. Bye, DJ. Thank you for coming today. Can axolotls see? Yes, they can see. They have a really bad eyesight, but they can see. What do you do for the bottom? What do you mean? Is Gary playful much? He is. Gary is really playful. Can they leave the water? No, they cannot. They only live in the water. Is Gary the biggest he will get? Yes, it's his adult size. Can axolotl walk on land? They have legs. They can walk, but like they won't be able to survive on land. It's only under water. Gary is Gary and he shouldn't have any other fish in his place. Can you get Gary a mosaic friend? I don't know because I don't know if there is mosaic in the UK. Does Gary know that in Gravity Falls there is an axolotl as God? Yes, some people just told me that. Oh, thank you for the donation. Give him pets for me. Oh, I wish I could. I didn't plan to get my hands in the tank, but when I will, which will be tomorrow, I'm gonna give you a special boop in the nose for you. Thank you so much, Knives Sama. How old is Gary? Gary is 2 years and 4 months old. Someone got to go. Sonny Leong. Thank you for coming today, Sonny. Are you Korean? No, I'm not. I am Asian actually. I'm French but Asian, but I'm not Korean. What color do you want the next axolotl to be? I don't really know because we plan on getting a rescue, so we don't really have like we are not gonna choose what we want. It's just they are gonna choose us instead. If you don't think that Gray is the cutest thing ever, unless the turtle ducks from the avatar, then you aren't human. My older sister has a type of an albino axolotl. Then my other sister has the Gary breed. I I like that you call the cystic the Gary breed. Is it okay if I give Gary 100? No, I prefer you to like maybe buy Gary's merch so you can have something for you and that will remind you of Gary. What do you do to maintain water temperature? We actually have a water chiller, so we don't have to do anything. The chiller is doing everything. It costs a lot, but it's like um, a relief for us, especially during summer. Like it does all the job for you. You don't have to put fans and everything and go crazy during summer. It's a really good addition to your tank setup. Are axolotls mostly blind? No, they are not blind. They have a bad eyesight, but they can still see. I might make a fan art of Gary. So you can, if you do a fan art of Gary, you can send the fan art directly in our DMs on Instagram or in our email, which is garyaxolotl@gmail.com. But you can find the email in the about section of our channel. You should get Gary a melanoid friend. We'll see what we'll have with Gary. Which water chiller do you use? The name is Boyu. It's not really well known, this one, but it does the job. But it still costs like around three, I think it was 350, 100 pounds. So I think it's around like 450 or $500. It's really expensive. Having an axolotl is not cheap at all. You have to buy so much things for them, like so much. Has Gary seen the curb axolotl screaming meme? Yes, Yes, he did. Why does Gary look so angry right now? I don't know if he looks angry. Does he? What do you feed Gary? We feed him worms and pellets, like as a main diet. And for snacks, we give him bloodworms, shrimps, and salmon. But salmon is like only once a year. It's only for Christmas because it's really, really fat. How often do I clean Gary's tank? We do a water change once a week. And when it's not that dirty, because I like to scrub the glass. So I used to scrub like twice a month, and the two other times we just like do water change. What if wait, no, I lost the question. There is so much in the chat. Out of 1 to 10, how much do you love Gary? I would say 1,000,000. You sound like my au pair. Like, what nationality is she? Gary will have a friend eventually when we are on the list to like foster axolotls that are like not in a good shape. So we are just waiting to get some. When we get a call, we just gonna like take care for them. Which water filter do you use? We have external filter. It's a big one. It's a really big one. I think it's proper to the UK. It's from Old Pond Solutions, but like it's only in the UK, so I don't think it's not a well-known brand. So I don't think it's gonna be relevant. Does Gary fart? I never saw him do that. French, yes. I'm French too, so maybe that's why the accent is kind of the same. What is your name? So my name is Moony. Moony. Gary's not moving right now. I think he's like, because he ate a lot today, like he had a worm and pellets, so maybe he's digesting. Bye, Nila Griffin. Thank you for coming today. Is he an albino or leucistic? So he is a leucistic because he have dark eyes. Your au pair is from France. Yeah, I'm French too, so that's why we kind of have the same accent, I guess. Hey Sky Angel, thank you for coming today. Bye. Do you have any other axolotl? I do not. Yeah, I only have Gary. Please give Gary a pet for me. I will when I'm gonna feed him tomorrow. Do you use those bubble filter thingy? Gary, stop eating. The bubble thingy you talk about is like sponge filter, I guess. But we don't have any sponge filter because our normal filter is already that powerful, so we don't need any other filter. Hi Gary, can you say hi to my 4 axes? Turnip, Alfie, Woody and Dotty. Say hi Gary. He jumped? Why? He jumped because he kind of wants to eat, even though he already ate. He's just a chunk. Like he will act like he's hungry all the time because he's just Gary. He just likes to eat. Comment ça va? Bah ça va bien. Il est un peu tard maintenant. Can you do the boop? I cannot today because I didn't plan on putting my hands in the tank today. I have to go now. Bye every day. I'm K-popping. Oh, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Gary. How old is Gary? Gary is 2 years and 4 months old. Emily Reynoso, thank you for joining us today. We'll see you next time. Hot Kid is loving you, Gary. Gary, stop eating. Stop trying to eat, okay? Be a good boy. What type of axolotl is Gary? I guess. Gary is a bluegill leucistic axolotl. Because there is a leucistic axolotl who doesn't have the bluegills. The bluegills are like the darkened parts on his gills. That's how you can tell. Oh, bye Gary and bye Mooney. Thank you, Potat Max Shib. I'm sorry if I don't say your name right. Can you use tap water for axolotl tank, and do you put drops or something in there? So yes, it depends on your tap water, but most tap water is okay as long as you put Seachem Prime, which is a water conditioner that removes all chlorine and chloramine, which makes the water safe for axolotl. Thank you. I have to go. Purple Panda plays. Thank you for joining us today, Purple Panda. I will see you in the next stream or in the community. Question: since axolotls are amphibians, can they live outside of water? They cannot. They are a type of amphibian that can't live outside of water. Oh, Finn Molani is going. So thank you, Finn, for joining us today. And we will see you maybe during the next live. Rombo is going too. Thank you all for joining us today, even though I know that it's really late for some of you. How much Seachem Prime do you use? It depends on the amount of water you have, but you have all the instruction behind the bottle, like how many drops or how many milliliters you have to put in which quantity. I don't remember right now because we just do it like by head now, because we have like tubs we fill Gary's tank back in, and for us it's like we put 3 drops for like 12 liters, something like that. So each time we do water change we do like 12 liters by 12 liters, so we always put the same amount of brine in every bucket. Which country are you from? So we are based in the UK, but I am French, so that's why I have an accent. I will name a Minecraft axolotl Gary. Yes. How how do you change the water? Google won't show me. So we have a water pump. So we pump the water out of the tank, and then we fill back in by putting like new tap water in a big tub. We put stick and prime, and then we put this water in the tank. It's really tiring, but we have to do it. Is it hard to look an axolotl? Yes, it is. It is a lot of commitment, a lot to like take care about, a lot of information. You actually learn every day how to keep for an axolotl. Even 2 years after we got Gary, we are still learning. I'm in Australia. They are extremely hard to find here, but I found a breeder. Oh, that's good. Yeah, but like if you're in Australia, I know that summer is gonna be terrible, so you will absolutely need a water chiller. How often do you change water, and do you take out the same amount of water each time you do water change? We change approximately half of the water. Oh, Grace the cat is going. Thank you for joining us today, Grace. So yeah, we are removing like 50% of the water out and fill it up with new water. I live in the city where Gary's ancestors come from, Mexico City. Oh, hello. I really wish I could go one day and just spot a wild axolotl. I would never eat an axolotl, oh my god. What if Gary got a friend and repopulate axolotls? The thing is, so axolotls are endangered because the lake they come from is polluted. So unless we do something to depollute the lake, we can't really put back axolotls in the lake because they would most likely die again. So we have to take care of their environment first and then repopulate. And that's, I think, what they are trying to do. I'm not really sure because I don't really know what is done in Mexico for like cleaning the lake, so I don't really know. Wow, I have 2 dogs, 2 cats, 30 fish, 1 axolotl, 1 rabbit, 1 pet spider, 1 snake, and a baby mouse. You have so much pets. Can we make wildlife reserves for axolotls? I hope, I wish, but I don't know how. Oh, so someone from Mexico is saying, yes, Lake Xochimilco is polluted, and due to the pandemic and political problems, not much is being done currently to clean it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. How often do you have to do water change? Every week. Is Gary a Jedi? I wonder. I have over 20 cats. Oh my god, how do you care for all the cats? Did you have an option between Gary or any others? Yes, we actually had to choose between a turtle and Gary, and we had to do like research for like both of them, but I only did research for axolotls because I wanted Gary so bad. Oh, someone from Mexico. Wolf King is Mayfia or How old is Gary? Gary is 2 years and 4 months old. But why are axolotls endangered? Because in the wild they only come from one place, which is the lake Xochimilco in Mexico, and this lake is polluted, so there's not so much axolotls left. So the lake is polluted. So you can't really like raise a lot of axolotls and then put them in there because they're gonna die again. Plus there is like a lot of tilapias, and the tilapias are actually eating the axolotls' eggs. So it's two problems that they have to resolve before putting back more axolotls. Sorry, there is so much things going on in the chat, and I have like some troubles answering every question. Can I have Gary's Gmail, please? So Gary's Gmail, you can find it in the About section, and it's garyaxolotl@gmail.com. Yes, by the way, did you know that Axolotl means water monster and was named for an Aztec god? Yes, I did know this legend, I think it is. I think it's that the god had to be sacrificed, but he didn't want it to, so he turned himself into an axolotl and went in the lake. Is Gary a male? Yes, he is. Oh, that's good. So scientists here are conducting a project to keep the species alive and repopulate the lake when the conditions of the later improve, which is a good thing. How long do axolotls live? They live around 15 years. So I wish that Gary is gonna live at least 20 because 15 is not enough. It's lagging on the screen, I'm sorry. Does Gary poo? Yes, he does. He does for sure. Is it true that you can cut axolotls and they will grow back? Because my brother told me that axolotls can regrow limbs, so if they lose like a finger or a hand or a feet, they can regrow, but it's not always perfect. Like if Gary ever lose an arm, the arm can regrow like backwards or grow extra fingers. It's not always perfect. I understand everything, but I'm not English. Oh, thank you. Is Gary male or female? Gary is a male. In Spanish is ajolote. I don't know if I said that right. Please let Gary know I love him. From Opossum Screams. Opossum Screams loves you, Gary. Can males grow bigger than female? Actually, the females are bigger than the males. The females are really chunky because most of the time they are like full of eggs. So they are like wider. Yes, it's very we call them axolotl. Axolotl sounds more cool though. In Brazil, people call them axolotes. Okay. I'm gonna have a chunky axolotl then. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh. Actually, I think I'm gonna like end the live now because it's been an hour, more than an hour even. We always do an hour long stream. So I hope you enjoyed being with Gary for more than an hour. And I'm sorry if I couldn't respond to everyone because there is so much going on my screen all the time. But don't worry, Gary will be back next week, and just check on Saturday for the poll for the time, and that's it. Thank you all for coming today to see Gary, and we will see you next time. And until then, stay cute. Bye bye, everyone.